want to look back at this.
How does he maintain possession?
Jenkins. And definitely was a little helmet-to-helmet on that hit.
I'm Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 16 Holiday Edition. We have a bunch of Christmas Eve games this weekend. Monday is Christmas, so we have 3 games on Monday night. Some big teams playing. Of course, the big one, right? Monday Night Football. Best in the AFC versus best in the NFC. Ravens versus 49ers. So excited for that game. Damn right we'll be talking about that one. Maybe a Super Bowl preview. You never know. I'll also be looking at a Saturday game. Steelers versus Bengals. Big divisional game there. Both teams still alive in the wild card spot. And on Xmas Eve, Christmas Eve, we have Dolphins versus Cowboys. Another important game for both. Excited to break that one down. Happy holidays to everyone out there. Big shout out to my clients if you're listening. I know some of you guys do. Some of you probably don't. Merry Christmas to you guys and happy holidays. I talk the toughest games here, guys. We break down, we give you free picks, leans, price talk, value, and more in the big games of the week. A nice week last week. Pretty sure we went perfect on free plays there. Obviously, we catch on the teaser, the Seahawks Underdog play of the week, plus 145. It actually closed up plus 170. Hopefully, you guys got that number. They beat the Eagles there with a nice pass at the end of the game by Locke. A couple interceptions late by Hurts. This Phillies team just is not playing great football. Great spot here to bounce back for them, though, at home on Christmas Day. Gave it the Bills as well. Ravens won. Also, let's have another repeat week like last week for the holidays. Back-to-back profitable cards for myself and clients. Great, perfect time for the holidays. Christmas paid off, right? Christmas has paid off from betting on sports. Always a nice thing. Also on a nice run in the NBA and the NHL. 10-2 current run. Obviously, UFC and PGA isn't off until January. January 4th, PGA is back. I think UFC is January 13th. So will be a lot more volume then. But we do handicap the NBA and NHL market at low volume. 2 more future bets cash for us last week. Both on the Ravens. Over 10.5 wins, plus 100 on the Ravens. And Ravens to make the playoffs as well. I mentioned it before. You know, the market was soft and behind on the Ravens going to the season. So we attacked it heavily. Right, we hit the best bet over 9.5 wins. We still have 2 pending, right? Plus 225, plus 230 on the Ravens to win the North, win the division. That should cash. Unless we see something crazy happen. We also have a Super Bowl pending, right? Super Bowl ticket pending, plus 1,800 on them now. It's probably what, plus 500, plus 600. So great value there on that ticket. We'll update here. Over 15 units on the year. Just got to our 70th winning ticket last week. Over 80 units the last 2.5 years in the NFL, and 72% best bets long term. Systemsportscapping.com is the website, or link.me/systemcapping for all my links. You can listen now, of course, on audio if you aren't already. I know a lot of people have moved over to the audio platform, and a lot of new people I've seen as well. I do have statistics that I see. So I do appreciate that wherever you're listening. Shout out to all my clients, short and long term. It is much appreciated. It was another good year in all sports. We're doing a breakdown video, year-ending video like we always do at the end of the year. Holiday giveaway. Let's get into a holiday giveaway. It's Christmas season, holiday season, so I usually do some sort of draw or something. I've done merchandise draws over the year. I'm running out of merch. I don't have a ton of merchandise to give away, so we're just going to do free client subscriptions. We're going to give 2 away. I'm going to give away a month. Easy question you can answer, Christmas related. First person to message me the answers on social media. So you have to be following me on social media, System Capping. You can message me either on Instagram or Twitter, whatever's better for you. And you have to be following me on both platforms to get this. So first one is going to be a month free subscription. Okay, month free subscription valued at $50. And it's going to be just a Christmas question. Christmas question. Okay, Christmas related. Which country first started the tradition of putting up Christmas trees? That's going to be the first question. Head over to my social media. I'm just going to go right to the top or bottom, it would be, right? Who messaged me first? You're going to be added to my client list for 1 month. Second one, it's a little more personal. Let's see who really listens. Let's see who really listens to these podcasts that I put out or follows me on social media. I mentioned this once on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. And I mentioned this also on the podcast maybe multiple times. So let's see if you were listening. Where will I be on New Year's Eve? Where will I be on New Year's Eve? Whoever gets that right, and mind you, if it's a close friend that listens to this, you don't count, guys. Not that many people actually know where I'm going to be honest. Maybe, obviously, if you heard me talk about it, but like personally, close friends and family, so there's not going to be a lot of people out there, but if you know where I'm going to be Christmas Eve, message me. You're going to get a 3-month free subscription package. You're going to be added to my client list for 3 months at least. You just have to provide me your email. So first person to do both of those, you're getting free client subscriptions, guys. Good luck, good luck. Let's hear from my friend Kristen one last time for 2023.
For you sports bettors out there, let's be honest, you probably need a little bit of help beating those books. System Capping is a proven long-term winner against the sports betting market in multiple sports. He's built a worldwide clientele due to his high winning percentage over the years. Be sure to click the link on the bio down here to check out his profile, and you can also find out his resume, client comments, podcasts, and subscription opportunities. I'm going to be following him along too, so let's win some money together this season.
Shop around. Have multiple books, guys. I stress that every week because it's very important to beat the books long term and get the best price out there. Let's get right into it. We have some breakdowns here to get into. Bengals -2 at Steelers. Total. Damn, I don't have that in front of me. We'll leave the total alone. It's not a total I like. Anyways, we'll be staying away from the total here. This is a Saturday game. Keep in mind, this is a Saturday game. A rare sight, right? The Steelers have lost 3 straight games and in a must-win spot here if they want any chance to make the playoffs, right? Normally, a good bet on spot would be the Steelers after back-to-back losses. Glad I stayed away, especially at Tomlin, right? Tomlin coaching. Not too many times over the years have he lost 3 games in a row. But with no QB issues, I stayed away from them last week, also on the road, right? They actually went up 13-0 in that game. They went up 13-0 game, but their defense is not playing as it should or what we're used to. Obviously, some injuries are a part of that. Right? Defense isn't playing that lights out like it was earlier in that year. The run game struggling as well. Right, the Steelers find themselves in a must-win game here. The Bengals are totally opposite, right? Totally opposite play right now. They've won 3 in a row, right? Once Burrow went down, I did not expect, Browning, their backup, to play this well. He's playing very well. He's not doing anything outstanding. He's being a game manager, not turning the ball over. He threw for 320 yards last week. Now he's playing catch-up. He didn't have a great start to that game against Minnesota, but he started playing well, finding Higgins, finding his targets, and he just doesn't really turn the ball over. He did have 1 interception last game, but he's playing well, man. And he has some big wins, right? You could say, yes, the Bengals could have lost 2 out of 3 of those games in this 3-fight win streak. Jacksonville, they could have easily lost that game. right? Had some luck underside. And the Minnesota game, some luck too. Higgins made some crazy catches, that crazy catch and touchdown at the end. So I get it. All I'm trying to say is Browning is playing a lot better than expected, right? Once Burrow went down, I thought this team was done. I thought they were packing it in. They're in a wild card spot, guys. They're in a wild card spot and winning 3 games in a row. Now, looks like Chase is out for this game. Currently, everyone's saying he's out. Read a few articles, he's out. That's a big loss, right? That's a big loss. We were on the money line last week on Bengals, which cashed. I had it in a 2-team parlay, and that was able to cash for me. It was a little scary at times, though, right? Especially when Chase went out. Because I think that game went to OT, if I recall. Or it ended late. I can't remember. But Chase went out in the fourth quarter in that game, right? So you're thinking, the odds aren't looking that good when Chase goes down. But guys stepped up. Including Higgins, of course, with some big catches. The Steelers are just in shambles at QB right now, right? They bench Trubisky. I think that's the right call. Trubisky is just not an NFL quarterback. Maybe a backup that just should not play, right? But he continues to get chances and opportunities to start games throughout the years, right? And he just does not deliver. He's just not an NFL quarterback, right? In comes Rudolph. Now, with Rudolph, is it an upgrade over Trubisky? I don't know, right? I would say maybe slightly. Now, remember, Rudolph is a veteran in this offense. He's been there for a while now. So keep in mind, he's not going to come in. I think he'll come in and look better than Trubisky did. That's my opinion. And 2 ways that the Steelers could win this game that is going to be very important here. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Establish the run early, because this Cincinnati team is 28th in the NFL this year against the run. Now, a little better as of late, but that's how Steelers win this game. Problem is they're struggling to run the ball, right? So if the Steelers can run the ball early, 2 keys to win this game for them. What I just mentioned, running the ball and getting to Browning. Don't give him time. Just dump it off. Don't give him time to throw the ball. TJ Watt needs that big game here at home. They need that big game. Now, they have some injuries which I'm concerned about. Cam Hayward may not play. Fitzpatrick's out for this game, right? Kazir, he's suspended. So they're banged up. That's what I'm worried about. But, the Chase loss, DJ Reader's out for this game. It's not going to help the defensive line at all to stop the run. He's a big play. He got hurt last game. Very important to that D-line. So I do think it kind of balances out from injuries here. But here's how I look at this, guys. Steelers in a do-or-die spot. Tomlin to avoid 4 straight losses. The play, if I had to bet this, would be Steelers +2. You can look at the money line as well. But I'd be maybe a little more comfortable plus. I know it doesn't land too often between 1 and 2, but I could see this being a very close, sloppy game. Or you could see that. Right, so Steelers +2, I would have to lean the money line as well, just due to the situation, right? Due to the situation. I think it's a slight upgrade at QB, and I think if they can run the ball, and a lot of teams have success running the ball in Cincinnati, I think Steelers can win this game at home to avoid 4 straight losses. Right? Tomlin, see, some teams quit on their coach. Some teams think they need change. And with Tomlin, I don't see the team quitting on them. Too proven of a coach. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He just does not have a QB right now to help. I watched his interview. He said Pickett could play. He's questionable. I don't know what that means, but it's possible Pickett somehow plays in this game is what I've heard from Tomlin at the beginning of the week. So keep that in mind as well. Fun fact. Tomlin's record of 15 straight seasons without a losing record is in jeopardy this year. And that's if they lose this game. If they lose this game, that record probably will be finished because their last 2 games are at Seattle, at Baltimore. So keep that in mind. I expect Steelers' best effort here. I expect Tomlin to have this team ready to play. Is it going to be good enough? I'm not 100% sure, right? I just know that effort will be there. The coaching will be there. They're at home. It's going to be loud. And if they can get the Browning and if they can run the ball, I think Pittsburgh can win this game. You can get that plus money. The +2 may be a little safer, but Don't love it. Probably won't make my client card. But just looking at this overall game, I think there is some value there at the Steelers. And, I don't really look at, some people like to look at, a spot for a team to lose because they won 3 in a row and then the team lost 3 in a row. I think it's a good spot because of that. I don't necessarily say that. But if you look at how Bengals won those games, 2 of them they should have lost. Or they got lucky to win, I would say, due to some big plays. So keep that in mind. And, on the road in Pittsburgh, as of late, it's been fairly easy to play, but in general, it's usually a tough place to play. Let's see if they can get back on track and stay alive in the playoffs. Cowboys versus Dolphins. Dolphins minus 1.5. Total 51.5. The battle of 2 teams that some say aren't as good as their records. And why? Why? Because the Cowboys are 1-3 versus teams above 500. 9-1 against teams below. And the Dolphins are 0-3 versus teams above 500, right? And 10-1 below. That's why, right? Something has to give here this weekend. Who's going to get that big win over a team above 500? These 2 teams beat up on bad teams all year, right? Big blowouts against shit teams, but struggle against the best. Cowboys have been struggling on the road as well. You got to keep that in mind, guys. This team is totally different compared to at home and on the road. 3-4 on the road. We saw the Bills beat them up. We saw them lose to Arizona on the road, right? So keep that in mind when you're handicapping this game, that this Cowboys team does not play their best football on the road, right? Miami's coming off a 30-0 win over a team with no QB and offense. I get it. But you beat any team in the NFL 30-0. It's impressive. The news here is a ton of injuries so far at practice for the Dolphins. Keep in mind, I think Tyreek Hill will play. But he hasn't practiced all week. So keep that in mind. The whole O-line is banged up too for Miami. They were resting. Now, some teams give rest days to guys and veterans, so you got to keep that in mind. Watch the Friday report. The Friday report in the NFL is always very important. That's the most important report. So look for that. See if Hill's practicing, the O-line's practicing. Howard, cornerback, also did not practice so far this week. That's going to be very important before I can pull the trigger on this game. That's always important before handicapping a close game like this. This is a 50-50 game. But you're trying to find angles. And I gave you a few of the angles so far why I would have to lean Miami or at home, depending injuries, of course, is the Cowboys' night and day difference at home and on the road. So that's one reason here. Why I would lean Miami, barring any injuries. Wait for the injury report to see if it is good enough to bet, right? You don't want to just bet Miami without Tyreek Hill in the O-line, right? You don't want that. You can see Mostert and HN have a good game here as well. Mostert, my favorite play actually in this whole entire game would be Mostert anytime touchdown, right? He's up to 20 now. He's beat the record in Miami. I bet him last week plus 105. Hopefully you can get still plus money on it. If it's a little crazy, minus money, I would suggest not to bet it. But Mostert's like almost a guarantee, guys. He's the goal line back. They try to get him in due to the record. They want him to beat the record, right? He's leading the league in touchdowns. So keep that in mind. Mostert anytime touchdowns, always live here. Always live. Fun fact. I'll leave you guys with a fun fact. Dak Prescott is 18-24 ATS when facing teams with a winning record since the beginning of him being drafted in 2018. Keep that in mind. Tua leads the NFL in passing yards at 3,921. If Hill plays, expect that passing number to get over. I see like 260 out there. So if Hill does play, I expect him to get over that number. Keep in mind, expect to be somewhat of a close game and, Tua to continue to throw and not just lean on the run. The big one. The big game. Ravens plus 5.5 at San Fran, total 47. What a Christmas treat, right? I don't need any gifts but this game. Don't give me any gifts, family and friends. Just let me watch this game in peace. Best team in the AFC versus the best team in the NFC. I've been a fan of the Ravens for a very long time. I'm sure probably most of you guys know that by now if you've been following me. If you're a first-time listener, maybe you can tell by the Raven helmet I have back there. But this is the most excited I've been about the team since 2012, of course, when they won the Super Bowl last. I would love to see them fully healthy coming into this game and going to the playoffs. The Mark Andrews is a huge loss. Not only is he your leading pass catcher, but he's a big-time red zone threat, and he's very active in the locker room and a leader. So that was a big loss. I think that the team is more dangerous with him. But, Isaiah Likely is stepping up, and I'm really happy to see how Isaiah Likely's playing. He's filling that role fairly similar to how Andrews would play. And they are different tight ends. Andrews more of a physical tight end and can catch in space. Likely is more of a, quicker guy. He can get open. Good hands as well. And he could be a red zone threat. He is a big guy. And then the big loss last week was Keaton Mitchell at running back. He was having a breakout campaign, the rookie, very quick, very dynamic. He's a guy that could turn, a 2-3 yard carry, which would happen for most people, into a 15-20 yard, and he could take it to the house as well. So that was a big loss as well. On defense, though, this team's fairly healthy. Marcus Williams is a little banged up. I expect him to play, though. San Francisco seems fairly healthy as well, at the skill positions at least. Their D-line's banged up, though. Their D-line is banged up. It showed last week when Arizona ran all over them. Guess who leads the league in rushing? The Ravens. So if the Ravens could establish the run early, I do think that's going to be the recipe for success to play in San Francisco in a tough spot, right? Who did they lose? Let's see here. Hargrave was out last game. Armstead has missed the last two. These are key guys on the D-line, guys. Right? Key guys on San Francisco. I don't know if Armstead will play. Hargrave probably will. Check the injury report there. Maybe they were resting them for this game. That kind of would make sense. Are they going to be 100%? No. I don't think they will be playing this game. They obviously lost that important safety that had been having a breakout. Hafanga, who was playing well. He's out as well. But overall, the teams are, I guess, fairly healthy on the skilled position side of the game. Let's talk a little bit about this, the defenses, right? That's what these two teams excel in. Well, they excel in both sides of the ball, but, Ravens are allowing the least points per game, and who's second? San Francisco, right? Ravens are, listen to this, Ravens are allowing 16.1, San Francisco 16.7, right? And Ravens also leading the league in sacks, and that's going to be important here to get to Purdy. Don't give him time in the pocket to throw, to get those guys open, right? Get to Purdy. That's going to be important here. And Ravens do it collectively. Obviously, Matabuke is having a unbelievable season. Baby Aaron Donald. And he's living up to that name, guys. He has 12 sacks on the year. 11 straight with at least half a sack. NFL record. This guy's going to get paid. I hope Ravens can keep him. They should be able to. Not going to be able to keep Patrick Queen, though. It's going to be one or the other. But Matabuke is unbelievable right now. And then they just do it as a collective team, right? Safeties come up and get sacks. Corners, they pressure well, and they're going to have to do that to slow down this 49ers offense. Let's look at some of this 49ers defenses that they have been playing, though, guys. This is going to be by far the best defense they have played so far this year. Keep that in mind. I know they're averaging over 30 points per game, right, in the last 5 games at least. But let's look at some of the defenses that they were playing, right? We do have to stress that here. Tampa Bay, Seattle, Philly. Philly defense is terrible. We all know that. Seattle again and Arizona, all poor defenses, right? It's still impressive you're averaging over 30 points, but this is a different animal, different beast in the Ravens defense. I don't expect Purdy to just be able to throw the ball around at will. Where I think they have the most success is with Christian McCaffrey. You may want to start looking at his props over, because Ravens actually have struggled a little bit at times against the run. So I do think Christian McCaffrey could have a big game here. And if they don't slow him down, I think 49ers win this game. Right, but the only way I can look at this game is take the points at plus 5.5. I think they're undervaluing the Ravens here at plus 5.5. I would have to take the points if I were to bet this game. I probably like Ravens a little better on the teaser market, 7-point teaser market. San Francisco, if they do win this game, and I'm leaning San Francisco winning this game just because they're at home. It's a Christmas day. It's a tough travel spot going to the West Coast. There's a lot of variables here where it's not favoring Baltimore. So I do think San Francisco should win this game, but I think it's a close game. So because I think it's a close game, you're giving me 5.5 points. Give me the points here. Teaser market, I would like Ravens a little more. 7-point teaser. But hey, I just can't wait for this game. I just can't wait to watch this game. Fun fact I'll leave you guys with, Lamar Jackson has the best record in primetime games since 2018 out of any QB. Keep that in mind. He shows up in big spots. Also, this could be a battle for MVP. Whoever wins this game could win the MVP, guys. A lot of things on the line here in this game. I'm excited for it. This is my gift on Christmas. Underdogs. Got a nice one last week with Seattle. Plus 145. Actually closed at plus 170. Great hit there. A lot of close spreads this week, guys. There are a lot of options. I talked about a few already, right? Cowboys, Steelers. I like Jacksonville, though. And now Jacksonville's a low underdog. It's like plus 100. But they are an underdog. Tampa Bay's favored in this game. I would maybe look Jacksonville's way in kind of like a similar spot to the Steelers. They need to win this game. They're still in first in that division, but they need to win this game. Tampa Bay's been playing a little better. But give me Lawrence over Mayfield any day. Jacksonville is due for a win. You get that at plus 100, I would look that way. And in the Saturday game, like I talked about, Steelers are an option as well. Don't love the Steelers as much, but yeah, Jags will be the play here for the underdog segment. Leave you guys with my two favorite teaser plays of the week. If you want I have a Christmas teaser available for clients. If you want that, head over to the website. My favorite teaser this week, two plays I'll give you guys. Chiefs -3 just to win field goal. I think they roll the Raiders at home. And Eagles. I think Eagles get back on track here, win by a touchdown at least. Perfect spot against the Giants, right? DeVito on the road in Philly. I don't expect a big game for him. I expect the Eagles team to bounce back and be angry in this one. Eagles by a touchdown or more. If you do 7-point teaser, you get it at like -4. So I think that's a good price there. That will do it, guys. That will do it. Happy holidays to everyone. Of course, no UFC video until January. You'll see me next week. I'll be back here for week 17. I'll be somewhere as well for New Year's. Let's see if you guys figure that out. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Enjoy your holidays and NFL Week 16.